My name is Colin Simning, and I'd like to thank you for joining today's webinar for RemotePACS. If I'd like to start out by introducing myself a little bit, I am a team member here at Dicom Solutions, and I am the project manager for RemotePACS. So if after the webinar you have any questions or anything you want to pose to me directly, please feel free to give me a call on my direct line, and I will give this number again at the end. But my number is 949-429-4905. Again, it's 949-429-4905. So right now we're just going to wait a minute or two longer before we get going, just to let some other people join in. If during the presentation you guys have any questions, there is in the GoToWebinar screen, there is a question section, and I will address those questions in a Q&A session at the very end. So about one more minute here and we'll really get going. So we have a couple more people that we should be having in. All right. I think we're looking good. So I believe you guys should be able to see my screen. This is RemotePACS.com. It is accessible from basically anywhere there's an internet connection. So you can access it through Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, whatever browser you have. And you can access it on PC and Mac. So it's particularly flexible in places where you don't necessarily have, like a group of computers that you can use, or one of the other benefits is that there's nothing to install in order to view the images. So you can use RemotePACS basically anywhere at any time that there's an internet connection. So I think that most of you already use RemotePACS, or you work with a facility that does. So the intent of this web demo is really to give you guys an idea of how RemotePACS works and how you guys can get the most out of the features that we offer, in every single account that we have. I'm going to begin here by going to the login section right here, and I'm going to log in to our Dicom demo account. And when you log in, it brings you here. This is sort of your home screen. It's going to have basically links to everything that you can do in RemotePACS. So on the left-hand side, you can view your images, you can go to contacts, tools, and then on the right, we've got some user guides that'll help you, in case you need to come back to something, can't remember how to do it. I'm going to begin, though, by going over generally what RemotePACS is. It's a cloud storage service for medical imaging. It's a PACS system that, we host the servers, we host the internet connection, and you can access it that way. We store all of the images that we receive for a minimum of 7 years. So you don't have to worry about making sure that you're keeping your studies for the right amount of time. We've already done it for you. It's included in the service. There is an additional, extended years that can be purchased. If you're interested in that, just let me know and we can work something out. One of the other benefits of RemotePACS is there's basically unlimited viewing, unlimited sharing, and unlimited CD burning. I mean, all of these features are unlimited. There's no limit to the amount of times you can access a study or an image, or the number of people that you can share that study with. There are 3 types of accounts that come with RemotePACS. So the first one is a corporate account, and that's really like a main where you upload your images to. Then there's a professional account, and those are for physicians, other people that you want to share your images with, and we'll get into that sharing here in a little bit. Finally, there's a patient account. So if you want to share your images with your patient, you can give them an account, share their exam with them, and they can pull it up on their own, or burn it to a disk and give it to their own primary physician, or whatever the circumstance is. You can give access to just about anybody. And everything in RemotePACS is HIPAA compliant. Everything is encrypted. We use SSL for transmitting the data to the cloud. We use HTTPS for viewing, and it all meets or exceeds everything that the FDA requires. So I'm going to begin here by going to our images section. And this is where you, on a day-to-day basis, most people access RemotePACS. They come in here and they want to view their images. And so I'm going to pull up actually some of our better demo images here. And so here's some demos. You can see we've got our patient name, study description, patient ID, some other critical patient demographics and study info. It's all displayed right here for people to view. So what you can do to begin with is, if you're looking for somebody specific, you can type in the name or ID, date range, depending on when the study was acquired, institution name. All of these are searchable fields up here at the top. Over here, we give you a quick way to search for a particular patient by just clicking on the name. If I were to click on that name, it would pull up everybody that matches John does. Or what we can do is search by patient ID by clicking right here. That way you don't have to type it in. You see the patient, you want to find the prior, you just click there. Over here, we give you, on the left, two different types of viewers. The diagnostic viewer, which is an FDA-approved viewer, and it will open in Mac or Windows. Just requires Java, which most PCs already have installed on it anyway. So there is no installation process to pull it up. It comes up if you have Java already installed. Here we have the basic viewer, and what we do with the basic viewer is it gives you access to pull up images like on an iPhone or an iPad or an Android device, and it doesn't require any installation. It's non-diagnostic, but it will allow you to view them. So I'm going to start right now by going to the diagnostic view. You just click the launch button, and it's going to open it in a new tab. In the background, you're always going to have that other main work list window open. So here we go. We've got a study. And you can see up here on the left, I want to kind of break down the way the viewer is organized a little bit. We won't go into too much detail about the tools because it has the tools that everybody's come to expect from like a PACS system. But we will spend some time on it. But I want to do the layout and the organization here. On the left at the top up here, what you can see is a list of all of the studies for this particular patient. So all of the relevant, all of the prior series are here for that patient. On the right, we have individual series for the study that is selected over here. Let me see if I can find one with multiple series. Here we go. So these are the individual series. The way the viewer is organized right now, it's showing one series at a time. So each one that I click on is going to come up. Over here on the left, you have thumbnails for all the individual images within that series. So, but you can see we have multiple series up here. We have these look like. So I can add additional windows to view and select which series goes in by doing that. So I can show two side by side. I can add a third one and do this series. The other way you can do it is by hitting at the bottom left the H. And what it'll do is it'll organize everything in a 2x2 view. So let me pull up here another study along with the CR, and we'll kind of go over some of the main tools here. So I'm going to focus. I'm going to make it just one view. So what we have here is on the left-hand side we have the toolbar. These are all, like I said earlier, these are all the tools that people come to expect in a PACS system and a PACS view. So again, here it's the window level. It's the, by default, it's the right mouse button. And you just click and drag just like in a regular viewer. Over here we have just below that icon, we have the window level based on whatever region you're selected. So it's only going to look in there and auto window level the entire image based on the details within that area that you selected. Over here on the left, we have the magnifier. So it will magnify a small portion of the image that you're viewing. Here we have the zoom. And again, it's a click and drag back and forth. And then pan to adjust the region and so on. Over here we have a full suite of measurement options. I'm just going to quickly review these right here. This one, it measures everything in metric units. You can click and drag this away. You can also delete them. the markings from the images. So these are all pretty basic features, but it's just a matter of knowing that they're there. We also have 3 different types of viewing in here. So we have a stack mode, which is the standard when you're viewing like a CT or an MRI where you just want to stack and scroll through. Let me see if I can pull up the CT here. And stack mode, when I scroll with the mouse wheel, it just scrolls right through. I'm going to close out these other windows to give you guys a better view. And the next one that's really critical for people is the semi-view. So if people are doing ultrasounds, for example, echocardiograms, a lot of them are recorded in a speak format. So basically when you pull it up, it gives you a player, and it'll allow you to go through and play through these. You can adjust the frame rate. Most ultrasound machines, when they capture an echo, they already predetermine what the frame rate is, and so the viewer will play it at whatever frame rate it should be played at. So here I've selected 28 because this isn't actually an ultrasound. You can play things back and forth. This is really the critical one for a lot of people when we do ultrasound studies. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that. Now, one of the nice things is because in RemotePACS, the accounts are free, and you can upload up to 15 studies of your own to play with. Plus, we give you all of these demo exams also to play with. So you can come in here and play with these tools and see that they really are very easy to use. They're all standard tools that people need in order to do a viewer. And I had mentioned earlier, this is FDA approved. It's fully diagnostic. So some of the features that make RemotePACS a little more unique in the cloud PACS area is the fact that we give you the ability to burn CDs and to send studies to a local Dicom destination, for example, another PACS, or you can send it back to the acquiring machine if you needed it to. I'm going to begin here with CD burning because it is a pretty commonly requested feature. So over here on the right, if you select that, you can pull up the CD burning functionality. And what it does is, this is one of the few features that will only work on Windows. So, and what it is just like anything else. You select whatever studies you want to burn to a disk, and just drag and drop them into the main area here. So, and then put a disk in there and click Burn Now. It's really easy, really straightforward, and it can be done from anywhere that is a Windows PC. The other thing you can do is actually do a Dicom send right here. So we select a destination. For example, I have an example here. Again, it's click and drag the study. You can send multiple studies. And you can push them over to whatever destination. This destination information is configurable by you. You can add as many as you like. There is no limit to it. However, the destination must be on the same network. For security reasons, you can't send over the open internet, so it must be accessible on the local network. One of the other key tools here is for viewing. If you're working with a radiologist or you are a radiologist, there's a configuration. You can pull this up in 2 monitors. So on the right, we've got the view area, and we have the number of screens that you can use is 2. It'll pull up. You can keep the RemotePACS work list open in a 3rd monitor if you'd like. It will work on diagnostic grayscale, 2 and 3 megapixel monitors. It is FDA approved for that. Mammography, it is not FDA approved, but it can be used for reference. So those are the key features within the viewer that I wanted to cover briefly. Now, if you have any questions that because I did kind of a quick run through on it. If you have any questions about that, please post them on the side there in the GoToWebinar software, and I'll come back and answer them for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the viewer now. And I'm going to launch the basic viewer. And again, it's really basic, but it does give you a good way to reference studies from anywhere. So if you just wanted to take a quick look from your iPhone when you're out in the field, you can come right in here, take a look at it. It loads it as a JPEG, so it is non-diagnostic. And there aren't many tools, but we do give you invert, which is up here at the top. And you can go through and select any number. It's particularly useful for like X-ray images because there's a limited number of images. But you can zoom using the pinch, and features on touchscreen devices. It's also good in the exam room if you just want to pull up something and point out to a patient, now here's where I saw this, and you just want to do it really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the basic viewer. I want to come back to the work list here, because what we give you are a few additional features in this work list area. The first one I want to point out is the status of, it's called state or status of the study. If you're using this and you're having a reading radiologist come in and log in and read, you can have the radiologist mark a study as unread or read, or if you guys wanted to define some other meanings, you can either mark it as marked or as attention. And this will change the color, and in that way, if you guys predetermine what that means, somebody will know it's stat or whatever it means. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this one back to red. The next feature that we give you is the ability to attach documents. So what you can see here, just by looking at the screen, is that this first study for John Doe has an attachment, has one attachment to it. But the one below it for the CT, just below that, also for John Doe, has 0 attachment. So if I click on it, I'll be able to open this WAV file and play it in whatever the native program is that opens it. You can add PDF documents, Word documents, text files, JPEG images, whatever you need to add, you can upload here. There's no additional charge for it. It's built right into the surface. The more documents to add, the higher this little number will go, and indicating to people that there are, in fact, documents for this particular study. Also, some people don't radiologists don't want to read a study if there isn't paperwork already attached to an exam. So we've given up here the ability to search for only studies that have documents attached. That way they don't have to waste their time looking at things if there's no patient involved. There's also a voice note recorder here. It's not the same thing as a dictation, but it will allow you to record quick notes right from your computer's microphone, and anybody else that can access the study can play it back. It's a relatively new feature that we've added. One other thing, and I'm going to pull up some different studies here. I'm going to take a quick look at this, at how to share. You don't want just enough. So, now we give you a couple different ways of sharing studies, and one of those ways is on a case-by-case basis. If you want to go in and share a study with somebody else so that they can view this exam, you can come right in here, and on the right-hand side there is a button that says Share. Now, we'll get into how we add these contacts here in a few minutes, but this is a list of people that I already have connections with. And I can select them, and it moves over here, and I can hit Share Study. That person will now be able to view that study. Now, this is the case-by-case basis. We can add them in to like a predetermined automatic sharing program where any studies that match a certain criteria will automatically be shared. I think now is probably a good time to take a look at that. So we can see who we have, who we can share by clicking up at the top of the screen. We have Contact. Now, here in the contact area, we have 2 connections. One's with Dr. Hutchison, and one's with Dicom Solutions. Now, these contacts we already created. So if you want to invite somebody new to view images for your account, all you have to do is type in an email address of the person that you want to view and see if they already have an account. So in this circumstance, they don't have an account, so what we can do is create one for them. Select the account type. Let's say it's a physician. You can go here and we select professional. We'll put in their contact information, first name, last name, address. More importantly, we need to pick a username for them. So we'll just put in username, and we'll also put in a password. Just so you know, all passwords need to have at least one number, one letter, one symbol, and they need to be 7 characters long, at least. So once you do this, please note what the username and the password is, because you'll need to share it with that user that you've given access to. Okay, so there's one more step, because what we want to do, if this particular physician, we want to share based on a rule, automatically. Every time, let's say we're an imaging center and we have a referring physician, we want to share every one of their patients with them automatically. We can configure that here before they even log in. So I click on this configure filter button here, and specifying how we determine what studies are shared is pretty easy. We click on add condition. And by default, there are 4 different ways we can restrict them to just doing certain studies. One is by modality. So we can select, for example, CT. We just allow this user to view our CT. And the next one is referring physician. So we can select Smith or whatever. And if the study comes in with a referring physician listed as Smith, this user will be able to view it. Finally, if you select nothing, it will specify that there is nothing, that they'll be able to view everything that's in your account. So there's also one more way to share. You can share based on institutions. We automatically keep track of all the institution names, so that when a new one's added, it'll show up on this list here. Once you've configured the way you want to share those studies with that user, you hit send invitation. And what's going to happen is that email address that you put in at the top will be sent a message. It'll ask them to go ahead and log into their account to confirm that their email address is real. And then after that, you've already configured the sharing, so they can log in and use it. RemotePACS to view your study. Now, you can come back up here. I'm going to click on Contacts one more time, and you'll be able to see the list of people that you are already sharing studies with. And you can modify that sharing, that automatic sharing, in the future by clicking here and adjusting what you want to share. So if you decide they're not going to view MRs anymore, they'll view MRs. And then you can update. The other thing you can do is remove them from your list at any time. They'll no longer be able to view your images. So if a physician leaves the practice or staff member leaves, you can just click right here and remove them, and it'll no longer have any access to any studies, either old or new. So you have complete control over who can see what studies at all times. You can also email them directly from here if you want to send a quick note to them. And if they're sharing any images with you, you can look, take a quick link right here to view their images by clicking. So now I want to take a look here and see, how do you get your images and your studies into RemotePACS? We give you 2 different methods. I'm going to click up at the top, and this is where these tools are available. Now, both of these methods are totally encrypted and secure. You can upload your images from the internet without having to worry about VPN tunnels or your images being vulnerable from a security perspective. So the first way I just want to take a look at here is the CD/DVD upload feature. This is, again, a Java-based tool that we've included in every account, so people will be able to upload their own studies. And what it'll do is you can select either your CD or your DVD drive on your local computer, and it will scan that drive looking for Dicom images. And it will discard any other files on there that aren't Dicom. So you don't have to worry about uploading, the built-in viewer or any other JPEG images or anything non-Dicom. Everything is going to be Dicom. The other thing you can do is select studies from your local hard drive. So if you have 100 studies in your local hard drive, you can select them all and upload them directly from here without having to have any additional software. And this is included, again, for free in every account. It's an easy way to get your studies in there, especially when you're getting images from a patient who had the study done in another facility. You can import them right in and view the image for that patient side by side with any newer prior studies. I'm going to go ahead and close this. The other way that we allow you to put studies in RemotePACS is by using our Omni router software. And what this does, and I actually have it installed on this computer, is it's a Dicom listening software. It's a really small program. You can install it on any Windows PC. And what it will do is listen for any incoming Dicom images being sent from either a PACS or a QP or an MR or any other Dicom modality. And all it will do is receive the image, encrypt it, and route it straight to us. Then it clears it off the computer, eliminating security concerns or anything about viruses. So what you can do is configure your CR, your CT, your MR, whatever else you have, your ultrasound machines, to send studies to the information that's already provided right here at the top of the software. So it's generally port 7775, it's generally Omni, and whatever the local IP address is of your computer. One thing to keep in mind is that if your IP address changes every day to day, then you will need to change it on the modality. It's better to set the local machine where this software is installed to a static IP address in the local. We do have a quick guide on how to do that. We don't have an IT staff that's willing and able to help. So that's really the bulk of how you get your studies in there. This software, by the way, will upload studies at exactly the speed of your internet connection. If you have a really fast internet connection, it'll move them right up as quickly as possible. If you have a slow internet connection, it could take a while. It just depends on the size of the study and the speed of your internet connection. Both the CD file upload tool and the Omni router software are available in the tools section up at the top. Finally, I wanted to review real quickly the accounts section here. So if you log into your account area, you can change your address at any time. The contact person should have been changed. The other thing you can do is change the auto log time. By default, it's 5 minutes, but that's often not long enough for most people. So you can set it for 5, 15, 30, or 1. Now, we also have some account notification settings in here. So a lot of times a referring physician will want to be notified when a study is available for them. This button is checked by default, and it says that when a study is shared with them, they'll receive an email. And there's a couple of other ones here. You can opt out of promotion messages or requests from other people to join to link to their account, or low study upload balances, and other things like that. You can also modify your password. This is really the key features in this RemotePACS. The sections are the images, contacts, tools, and my account. You can always view a quick description of what these sections are by just clicking on the home at the top, and it'll have it right here. We update these user guides on the right when we make significant changes to the software, to the web interface, or to the viewer. So recently we made some changes to the viewer, and these manuals over here should reflect that. Now I wanted to open it up to see if anybody had any questions that were specific to RemotePACS. Let's see here. I think we have one. What is the recommended upload and download speed? Well, you know what? For an internet connection. So here's what I recommend for RemotePACS, and this is generally a pretty reasonable speed for that's available almost anywhere in the U.S. is a minimum of a download speed of 5 megabits and an upload speed of 1. So obviously the faster the better, but most places in the U.S. can get that speed. If you're going to be reading or uploading a lot of studies, it does pay to look at maybe a faster internet connection than that even, but that's the minimum that I would recommend. Let's see here. Do we have any other questions? One of the things, too, is that RemotePACS is really well suited for mobile imaging because the routing software can be installed on numerous computers in numerous places. You have fewer options in terms of getting that speed bumped up. So for for mobile imaging, because generally you're doing it from like a wireless card or something like that. But it is well suited. And one of the nice things too is we've also added in the routing software where it will pick up where it left off when uploading it when the connection is disconnected. So just that's specifically to address the issues from mobile imaging users. Do we have any other questions? All right. Well, what I'm going to do right now is provide you guys with my phone number and my email address. And so that if you do have any questions you can come up with a little later, you can call me or send me an email. I'm going to put it in the chat window here on the GoToWebinar software. And again, my phone number is 949-429-4905. There we go. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And you know, again, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email if you have any questions that I didn't address and you need anything in the future. Thank you very much for showing up, and everybody have a nice day.